Can Ant-Man and the Wasp defeat the power of quantum mechanics? If you haven't heard of quantum mechanics by now, then you must be living under a rock. This branch of science has taken the world by storm with its remarkable power to help us better understand our physical universe, even if it still seems like magic to many of us. Still, this branch of science does not yet have the most positive track record in terms of success when it comes to being adapted into film and television. See Interstellar. That's why Ant-Man and the Wasp are so important to Hollywood right now. Quantumania analysis. The trailer for Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp is out, and it looks as if this installment will be a lot more about quantum mechanics than its predecessor. While some are up in arms about how this film may contradict what has been established in other Marvel movies, others see this as an opportunity to explore quantum mechanics on a grander scale. With the help of theoretical physicist Dr. Spiros Michailakis from University College London, Science Alert broke down the potential implications of having such a significant emphasis on quantum mechanics. In short, if Ant-Man can tap into and manipulate the field with his suit, which he does seem capable of doing according to this trailer, then he could theoretically control everything within that range. Quantumania. What the heck does this mean anyway? Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with microscopic particles, specifically atoms. These particles have unusual properties, such as being in two places at once or not having well-defined boundaries. Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with microscopic particles, specifically atoms. These particles have unusual properties, such as being in two places at once or not having well-defined boundaries. That might seem weird, but it happens to be one of the most accurate models we've come up with to explain how our universe actually works. Now let's hope that Ant-Man and the Wasp don't need quantum mechanics when they are fighting against villains like Ghost. Quantum mechanics overview. Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that studies how matter behaves at extremely small scales. It has found applications in chemistry, materials science, nanotechnology, and many other fields. For example, quantum mechanical effects are responsible for the conductivity of metallic materials. When a metal such as iron cools to low temperatures, its electrons can be made to behave like waves rather than particles. When these waves collide with one another, they create an interference pattern on the surface of the metal that can be used to measure their wavelength with an electron microscope. Quantum mechanics. How does it work? Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics that studies the way atoms behave at an atomic level. At this level, scientists found that particles can be in two places at once, a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. This discovery has led to all sorts of new inventions, like quantum computers, which are able to process data much faster than traditional computers because they use quantum bits, qubits, instead of regular binary bits, zeros and ones. Quantum mechanics in action. Quantum mechanics is a branch of physics which deals with the strange properties that can occur at nanoscale. The movie Ant-Man and the Wasp will explore some concepts in quantum mechanics, such as quantum entanglement. Ant-Man and the Wasp overview. Ant-Man and the Wasp is a 2018 American superhero film directed by Peyton Reed, with a screenplay written by Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, Paul Rudd, Andrew Barrer, Gabriel Ferrari, Stephen Broussard. It is the sequel to 2015's Ant-Man. In the film, Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, grapples with the consequences of his choices as both a superhero and a father. And Hope Van Dyne, Evangeline Lilly, and Dr. Hank Pym, Michael Douglas, struggle to find their place in the world. As they work together on a project which will bring them closer than ever before, they must also battle against foes who threaten the future of all humanity. Ghost, Hannah John Kamen, who has grown more powerful since we last saw her in 2015, and Darren Cross aka Yellowjacket, Corey Stoll, Pym's protege who had become obsessed with taking over Pym Technologies. Ant-Man and the Wasp. A different approach to script writing. It is no secret that Marvel Studios has been on a hot streak when it comes to their films. Starting with 2008's Iron Man, they have had one hit after another. This trend continued with the release of Avengers: Infinity War in April 2018. Now, just days before its sequel is set for release, Marvel Studios dropped the latest trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Fans can see Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, wearing his suit once again as he faces off against some new villains from a different dimension, who have harnessed the power of quantum mechanics. Ant-Man and the Wasp actors in a smaller size world. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer star in Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp. Marvel Studios has a history of turning comic book superheroes into box office champions, but it might have its toughest challenge yet with this film because the power they are up against is not a person or two, but rather quantum mechanics. Ant-Man and the Wasp storyline of a shrinking hero. Ant-Man is a shrinking hero who is used to taking on big challenges, but this time he might be in over his head. When Dr. Pym's lab falls under attack, Scott has no choice but to suit up as Ant-Man again. Teaming up with the Wasp, they are going to need all the help they can get to take on a new threat whose power is beyond anything we've seen: the ability to change size at will. Ant-Man and the Wasp's comedy, drama and humor. Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp has been a smashing success for its comedy, drama, and humor. In this sequel to the original, Scott Lang will be reunited with his superhero friends to try to defeat the power of quantum mechanics. I am looking forward to seeing what happens in this movie. I know that it is going to be exciting and intense when they are trying to fight off the powers of quantum mechanics.